Hey guys, it's Barrett with Gimpy Gives Back, where we use our equipment to go around and help local veterans in need. I got Hank Jr. here today. Well, we're gonna I got 3 days off of work here before I gotta fly out to South Carolina and work. And I think we can get this place taken care of if the weather cooperates. It's supposed to rain in the morning, but then it's supposed to clear out. So I think that I'll be able to get it done. Today's project is later in the evening because I got home at like 2:30 last night. But today's project, I'm going to use the tractor here and the rake on the back. This is a Garvey rake. They call it a pine needle rake. And I'm going to try to basically pick up some of these sticks and stuff. I don't want this place, I'm not going for the perfect look or anything, but it would be nice if it cleaned it up a little bit. First thing I got to do is down there on the hill, I have some firewood stacked. And I say stacked, it's kind of through in a pile, but I'm going to stack it up closer to the side of the road. I was going to put it in the bucket of the tractor, but these brakes aren't the best, and I don't really trust the parking brake to hold it on the hill, so I'm not going to get off of it while it's not in gear and let it roll away. So I'm not going to take that chance, and so I'm going to stack that firewood up by the road, and then we're going to take this rake and go across this front yard in a few different places, see how it turns out. And stay tuned at the end of this video because we're going to patch these holes on the shed for this guy, and we're going to paint it and make it over for him. It's not going to be like the best job ever, but it's going to be a lot better than what it is. So this thing did pretty good. All these stumps and stuff that are through here kind of had an issue, but like there was a whole bunch of sticks through here. And we'll walk down here and see what we got. I mean, it's not perfect, but considering what this place was, and you got like 6-inch stumps like that sticking up, that I didn't do well, but it raked up all that with one pass pretty much over this stuff. I would have went over it better, but it's not really the safest area for that little tractor, especially since I don't have my new tires that are wider with the wheel adapters yet. But especially this part down here, it looks better. All right guys, so we got that front yard raked. I got a trailer I'm gonna move over here in his like actual yard area. But besides that, I'm gonna pick up a couple of things here. I'm going to cut this little tree down and kind of get ready here, because my plan tomorrow is it's not going to be fix this shed. This shed is pretty much beyond repair, at least with what little bit that I plan on putting into it. But if we can patch the holes up and throw a coat of paint on there and get it a little bit, weather resistant, I think it'll go a long way. And it'll make it look a lot better. So that's what my plan is tomorrow. It's supposed to rain in the morning, and hopefully if I come over here tomorrow morning and after the rain, probably about noon, and start patching these holes, I'm just going to put some more OSB on there, because basically that's what's on there anyway, and it's not going to be perfect. I'm going to get some boards to use as trim so I can go over where it's kind of peeling out there, and that way it'll have something solid to hold it down, basically kind of like a washer on a bolt. But we're going to do that, and then we're going to throw some paint on this thing, and after we do that, I think we'll be pretty much done. All right, guys, so that's going to be the end of the work this evening. I took the tractor and I spread this ash out, kind of, so we didn't have a big pile here blocking the ditch. It's not the best, but there's all kinds of little stumps in there. I don't have a stump grinder yet. That one's on the way, but these big jobs like this, I don't know if I probably wouldn't grind every stump in here, but it is an option one of these days when we get some more equipment. Hint, hint. All right, so that's going to be it for today, but tomorrow we're going to be back to work on the shed, hopefully. For me, it's going to be tomorrow. For you, it's going to be like this. All right, guys, and just like that, we're back. We're back at it working. I got some OSB here. This isn't the best siding in the world, so don't side your stuff that way. I'm not showing you what to do. I'm just fixing the immediate problems here. And OSB is what's on there, so that's what we're putting it on. I got my rigid air nailer. I actually ordered a DeWalt cordless air nailer because I figured for things like this it was going to be great. I broke down and got the finish nailer cordless a couple of years ago, and let me tell you, it makes a world of difference in not having to get the air compressors and stuff out all the time. But it's not here yet. I actually thought about buying one at the Home Depot and then sending one back from Amazon, but then I remembered I got it refurbished, so I had $100 off, so I didn't do that. Just grabbed the air compressor and an extension cord today. It'll work. I got my just cheap, well, it's not cheap, but my cordless DeWalt saw. That's all we need for this. And we're gonna get to work patching up these holes. So stick around, it should be fun. All right, so my plan is obviously I got 3 sheets, which should be more than enough to fill these holes up. But all these pieces that are like loose, like that big piece there on the right, basically I got some 1x3 furring strips in the truck here. Probably got too many of those, but I got those to basically, after we get this plywood down, because I figure if I put nails in that, it's just going to go right through it or not hold it. So I'm going to put those furring strips around the edges and make it look kind of like trim or something. But basically the purpose of the furring strips is to act more like a washer, just to give you something for the nail head to be solid to sit in. So that way it won't go through and it'll last a little bit longer. On these places, I'm going to have to cut these 2 off on the bottom, fix them. And on the places like there and over there where the bottom piece is missing, I think I'm probably going to put like a little piece of a furring strip on the back of it. And that way, whenever we go through and we put the nails in, there's something there to nail it to. And then probably put one on the outside of it too, just because of what we just talked about. So that's going to be the plan. And then tomorrow, we're hopefully going to spray some paint on this thing. I'm not planning on washing it because basically, if you wash this stuff, it's so rotted, it's just going to disintegrate. So we're just painting it as is. There's no great way to do this. This shed, like I said before, it's pretty much beyond repair anyway. I don't know about the interior, it's full of stuff, but like those trim boards up there, that 2x4 is rotted out. If you go around here, you can see, well, let's go on further over here. You can see up here above this window, all that roof's rotted right there. But we'll make do with what we got. Alright guys, it's been a little longer than I meant to go without doing an update, but we're getting somewhere. We got some of this OSB on here. Got the door covered up. I didn't end up putting a nailer on the inside. I'm kind of regretting it now, but we got some of these trim pieces started on here, and then I'm going to do a couple horizontally. Of course, they're not going to be great to like keep water out or anything, but you know, it's better than what it's got. So. Alright guys, so as you can tell, we got everything buttoned up here. Like I said before, it's not like the greatest in the world, but for being a rotted out shed, I think we made a lot of improvement. We got those 10 gallons of paint there that we're putting on spraying tomorrow. Hopefully my paint sprayer will work. Got to dig that out tonight. Give me an extra 5-gallon bucket so I can mix it up over here. But you know, we're almost the end of this project, so plans to come over here, throw some paint on here tomorrow. I'm not taping anything off. I'm not doing the trim a different color or anything like that. It's merely to kind of blend this in and give it just a little bit of protection. So, and then we're going to do some after pictures for our before and after of the whole property here, and kind of do the whole transformation video thing. Hopefully that'll work out. So thanks guys for following along, and we'll be back tomorrow with a paint like this. Alright guys, it's our final day. We got the paint sprayer over here. I have the Graco Magnum X5. I've only used it a couple of times, so I have to go back and like look at the directions every time, but so far it's been a good sprayer. But we're going to spray this thing down today. Not really going to do much like prep work. The biggest thing that I'm going to do is to tape the one window off over there. You know, this door was all rotted. I put this piece of OSB here. You know, it's got the doorknob and the lock there. I'm just going to paint it. Just going to paint it. And like I said before, I know this isn't the right way to do this. I know that, you know, this is just a temporary fix, but it's what I got. I also did this with, I'll say my own money, but really it was you guys' money, because you guys gave some money to help with these projects. And so, you know, I'm being as frugal as possible with that money. And this is the fix that I came up with. It's like way better than what it was. It's not going to last forever. I know that. Yes, this is OSB, which you shouldn't use as a siding, but so is that. So in order for me to put actual siding on here, it was going to be about quadruple the investment, even if I just did one side. And then you still got a rotten shed you're putting it on. So this is the fix I came up with. Let's get this sprayer set up and let's get it done. I also wanted to say that the property owner wasn't picky about the color, obviously. So I got this paint at Farrell Calhoun. They helped me out. I mentioned that already. But one of these 5-gallon pails was like a mist tint to start with, so we started there. So I didn't have a lot of control on what color it was. We did darken it up a little bit. I think it'll work out great. They said that it should have some decent cover. The one issue working against us is that it rained last night. It didn't rain a whole lot, I don't think. I waited till this afternoon to try to let some of this humidity die down, because it was over 90% this morning. It's still probably pretty humid, but we got to get this done because I don't have any more window of opportunity here. So there's also, you know, a couple of days more of work that I could do here, as far as, you know, picking up sticks and, you know, little pieces of trash that's along the base of this shed here, you can see. But I've probably, after today, I'll have about $10,000 of donated time into this place. So unfortunately, I'm going to have to move along. The property owner's more than happy with it. So hopefully everything will work out here, and we'll do this, and then we'll do some like transitional before and after type videos this afternoon, and we'll call it done for now. All right, guys, so we got one coat on, one more to go. Should be all downhill from here. There's actually 3 windows in this. I didn't even notice the one on the back side and one on the I guess it's the right side. But I got all those taped up. I got speckling on one of them. Nobody really cares here. But I'd say it's looking like a lot less of an eyesore. I'll give you some images here, what it looks like now, and then we will proceed with the second coat. So we got her done. We got a couple of coats on there. Looks way better than it did before, if you ask me. I mean, just look at it. Is it new? No, but from the road, we call this a 20-foot paint job. Actually, it's probably more like a 100-foot paint job. From the road, it looks darn good. It looks a lot better than it was. Like I said, I know this isn't the right way, but given that, you know, I donated the time, the paint, the cleanup, even the plywood for the walls, the OSB that we put on there, the pieces that we replaced, you know, I think it's all right. Now, somebody might say, well, that's not the right way to do it. Well, you're more than welcome to come down here and rebuild this man's shed. I'm sure he wouldn't mind at all. But I don't see a lot of people putting their money where their mouth is, but I did. So I think it's going to work out good. And that's going to complete us around here. You know, like I said earlier, there's a few things that I would like to get done, but this does put us, I think, at 96 hours. And you know, this man doesn't get a bill. I do keep a tally there, and I make a bill, and I write it off. So I think it's going to come out at 96 hours, which is $100 an hour. So that's $9,600 that I've donated to this. And this was $300 worth of paint and OSB and trim that I put on here. So, you know, we're at 10,000 or a little better. So, and we did the gravel on the driveway too. Remember, you couldn't even get up this driveway to start with. So basically, that's going to wrap us up. I'm getting ready to just do some like transition videos and photos, but that's going to take care of it. So if you enjoyed this, you know, click up here and watch this whole series, or, you know, just hit that subscribe button, follow us. But we're planning on doing a lot of stuff like this, and we're going to make the change. So let's go make it.